This is Walker Talk, brought to you by Barely Sober News. This week we have Season 2, Episode 13, called Date of Dead of the Fear the Walking Dead. Chris, what do you rate this episode?
I like this episode a lot, actually. I think it was, for me, I actually think it was like the best episode this series might have had so far.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to rate it probably like a 7.1 or 2.
That's very high, I feel like.
Pretty high. I liked it a lot. I thought it was good writing.
I'm gonna give it I think I'm gonna give it like a. I don't know. I liked it. It was interesting, but I don't know. I just didn't enjoy it, I think, as much as you did. I'm gonna give it like a 6.2, I think.
6.2. What didn't you like about it? I feel like I have some positives to say, so I kind of want to. I could get the negatives out of the way first, but I don't know how you feel.
I don't know. I think like the whole thing with Travis and Chris, and like those kids is just, I kind of found it a little annoying and just like, yeah, it was interesting, but it was just like ugh, like you know, and I thought the ending was very weak. Like nothing happened in the ending. Like it was just like, oh, love your kids. I wish I said I love him, and it turned into a drama series at the end of the show.
Yeah, I think the ending was a little weak. I think those moments were needed for character development and everything, and I thought that like the regular Walking Dead show has a lot of moments like that, but they never make sense to me. At least in this show, they seem to make sense. Like that's how a father would feel if he left his son. That's right. How like a mother would feel. So, but I was hoping for like something crazy to happen towards the end. I felt like it kind of lost steam. I think for me, like the biggest negatives of this episode are any time Madison was on screen. I realized that I've been kind of thinking it in the back of my head this whole time, but I realized this episode I just don't like her, and I think she's a bad actor. I'm sorry to say, but she has the same face no matter what. Dude, yeah. In the beginning, she's like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." Like people are trying to get through the gate, right?
She's like, "I'm sorry.
She's like, I'm so sorry. I'm
what
so
happened
sorry."
to you?
Like, really? Because you fucking don't seem like it. You got like a blank ass face on. You have no emotion in your voice. You're just like, "I'm sorry. So sorry." And it's like the same face she had throughout the entire episode. Like even when she's telling her daughter, like, "Hey, guess what? Your dad committed suicide. I'm sorry. Yep, I'm so sorry." It's like, fuck you, Madison.
What would you like to eat? A ham, egg, and cheese?
I'll have a ham, egg, and cheese. By the way, your dad committed suicide. I'm so sorry.
I mean, yeah, you're right. Like, I mean, maybe we should just pray for death to Madison. I mean, she's just annoying. And I guess like, if she did die, it would just be one of those like, oh, like good, all right, like maybe, you know, narrow down like the storyline and like get some good stuff in there.
Yeah, I don't think they even can kill her at this point. I mean, she's kind of she's the person that's holding all these people together. She's holding Victor Strand into the story. She's holding Travis into the story, Alicia into the story, and Chris into the story. So like without her,
and Nick.
Yeah, and Nick. So like without her, like why would Travis give a shit about Victor or like, you know?
Right. Right. Like yeah, because Travis has been gone for so long. So, you know, so like she is the connecting piece between all of them. I mean, it's just I just think we have a hatred towards Madison and the actress.
Kim Dickens. I like what they're trying to do, like having like a female main protagonist. It's kind of like the Rick character in this show. And she's also like the motherly figure, so she's kind of like taking care of all these people. I think that's cool, but like I can't stand her acting. I don't know. Yeah. Drives me crazy. But,
what do you think's going on with Chris? Like,
yeah, so I hope that I really liked the storyline with Chris and Travis. I felt myself like actually like really glued to it compared to other plot lines that go on in this show. And I hope that that's like a continuing thing, and I hope that Chris just goes full villain. Like I don't want to see him really come back and be like, "I'm sorry, Dad, you were right." I mean, he fucking that one part in the episode where it seemed like he was turning around, and then it was actually just a trap. That's messed up. You do that to your own dad. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think there's any coming back from that.
I feel like it was you could sense it was a trap because it's all out of nowhere. He's like, I'm sorry, you're right, and like he just completely 180'd. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't sense it was a trap. I thought it was just like convenient, typical Walking Dead writing. Like, oh, he's just gonna like turn around, because it went on for so long, and I was like, is he real? Like that takes a lot to really do that to your own father.
Yeah. He's
You know?
really like
It's
out of
just-
it. I mean,
yeah.
but when you think of like I don't know,
Even Kylo Ren had more emotion killing Han Solo. Even the
Right.
fucking Dark Lord of the Knights of Ren or whatever
Right.
had more remorse than the Chris in this episode.
if they were gonna go and like kick in the door, they should have just kicked in the door, and like with their guns. I mean, maybe because I guess Travis had a gun too.
Yeah, I guess
At the
that's
time.
what it was. I know.
But if they believed that he wasn't gonna shoot them, then they could have done that.
I mean,
don't know.
they should have just drove off without him if it was like to that point, you know?
Right, and if they were leaving him behind anyway.
Yeah.
And maybe I guess did they have a pact though that they would kill each other? Like they would if you were like don't let me turn kind of thing.
I get that, but like, damn, at that point, they're not showing much honor at all.
Yeah,
Anyway.
at that point,
like,
yeah. I guess you might as well just get your stuff, hop in the truck, and go. Like
they did make a point to show that what was the kind of the leader of that the bros. Leader of the bros. I forget his name, but they did make a point to show that he had some like difficulty in shooting James, which I thought was interesting because even like Chris is just like the monster of the whole group. Chris
he has no
remorse.
feelings. You know what I mean?
No feelings. Who raised that kid?
Right? Like for how compassionate Travis is, like Chris is not that way, like at all.
And then I don't know if you like saw some of this in season 1, but I guess Chris is always the type of character that he's just wanted some attention and now he's getting it. But in season 1, he was like totally in a different way, seeking attention. He was like at protests, like protesting the cops, shooting what which we knew were walkers, but he thought were just like innocent homeless people. And then he wanted to go like save some people in like some house that he saw like them shining a flashlight. And now he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. I think he just wants to be accepted. He wants to be like a part of a group. Like he doesn't really care about, I guess, like his own morals or how like what he thinks. Like he doesn't have his own thoughts. He just wants to be a part of like a group.
Yeah,
that's all he wants to be. Which I mean, you can't. And Travis is trying to not have him, kind of like teach him on his own. He doesn't want to be part of his family.
Well, I just hope that they just keep this going, and I think it would be cool to see Chris become like, I don't know, like a long-term villain. Like when I say that, it sounds kind of cheesy. Like I don't want anything like the Governor again, But it would be interesting to see a villain's point of view on the show, and not have him just like switch back after one bad thing. Like I don't want the season finale to end with Chris being like, "Dad, I'm so sorry. I should have never left you."
Yeah, you're right. I don't think anyone wants to see that, and But I mean, at the end of this episode, those two guys came back.
Yeah. And Chris wasn't with them, or
I'm pretty sure Chris wasn't with them. They just show the two bros had backpacks and they were traveling with two other people, I think. So they kind of, I guess, there's been a whole thing that has happened with Chris, and then no one knows. I'm sure Travis is gonna freak out. I mean. They're probably going to say he's dead, but he probably isn't. I mean, it's kind of like, I wonder what Travis is going to think when these two guys show up without his son.
I got to admit, it kind of bummed me out when I saw them show up again so fast. Yeah. I was like, really? Like, you guys just separated. You're going to show up again? Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. it's weird that 2 episodes in a row basically ended the same way, with people showing up at the hotel, leaving the audience wondering, hey, where's Chris? But both times it's like, hey, it's Travis. Oh shit, where's Chris? And now it's like, there's the bros.
Yeah, I guess they did
hey,
a twofer
Chris?
on us on that one. Right.
So yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Like I said, I think the ending was weak, but I really like the Travis and Chris stuff that we got. And they've only been in like 2 or 3 episodes this whole half season. So.
Yes, like maybe like 2.5 episodes this season.
All right. Well, I got a question for you.
All right.
When, and maybe I might have missed this at some point, but when the fuck did everyone start speaking Spanish? Like even Alicia and Madison.
I guess they got nothing else to do but learn Spanish in their spare time. I mean,
I don't know. They're speaking it pretty well, I thought.
I know, right? Like, I don't know. Maybe I just feel like maybe a lot of their audience is like speaks Spanish, so they're kind of really getting into it. They're really heading in that direction.
Well, they're in Mexico, so it makes sense that the other people are speaking Spanish. But
right,
like, how would Alicia and Madison all of a sudden just take that on? Because that's like a this episode only sort of thing, right? That's never.
They're kind of just like.
Before.
Yeah, you're right. They're like trying to slide it in there.
Yeah, we didn't notice.
Like I guess they're having them learn Spanish without them like being like, "Oh, you're learning Spanish, so let me teach you." You know what I mean? There's enough bullshit in this show that I don't need to see them, trying to learn Spanish.
I know. I mean, I don't even think they should be learning it, or just some like basic. I'm trying to think of how it would be realistically. There was people that showed up to the gate in the beginning of this episode, screaming like what I would think would be somewhat complicated, like sentences. Like I think this one woman said something about like, "What am I going to do with my son?" And like Alicia like responded to her. She's just like, "Oh yeah," like in Spanish, responded to her full sentences.
Lo siento.
That's one thing, but Alicia said like a sentence. I don't remember.
She's
exactly
like, I know, or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. So
I don't know. I guess they're just learning it and not bringing it up on the show because I mean, I guess they don't need to see that crap. I mean, I guess naturally they're gonna learn Spanish. I mean, being around it.
Yeah,
but they're so good at it. Because if it was me, I'd be like, hola, like
yeah.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't know what to say right away, but you're right. It's like rolling off their tongues, like
it's
instantly.
rolling off their tongues, and yeah, it's just another thing is like they kind of have to have Alicia and Madison do that just for like plot, It's like
right.
It's just like convenient for the plot, so it's like now they know Spanish because who are those other characters that are even with them? Like, I still don't even know like any of those people's names.
Yeah, and they're not even saying them either. Like the only way you know those names is you look it up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, I mean, there's just like a lot of irrelevant characters.
Yeah,
like in this hotel, like they're just there. Like in The Walking Dead, they kind of explain everyone. Everyone has a name and a job. Like here, they're just like there's just people all over in the background that you don't even know.
Well, it also goes back to the thing that I always bring up is like. The original show, they have like their signature weapons and they have like more descriptive qualities to them. Yeah. In this show, everyone's just like generic people. You can't be like, the guy with the cool sword and the hood on, like, and then or the guy with the eye patch. Like, it's just like this Mexican character and that Mexican character.
Right. You're bringing up the point of the weapons because even Travis, when Chris drove away. And he was walking like to the ocean. Like he didn't grab like any like supplies or like a weapon. Like he was just walking.
I guess he was like I can kind of understand that though. He just lost everything in his life. He probably was just like almost like uncaring to the point of being like suicidal. I kind of thought maybe Travis would have pulled a suicide thing at some point in this episode, but then
like a fake like oh no I failed my son.
Yeah, You're but right. Then once Madison brought up that her old husband committed suicide, I'm like, they can't have her new husband commit suicide too.
Oh, is that what he did? I thought when Madison was talking about her old husband, I thought it was he ran away from them.
No, he left a suicide note.
I thought he said he left a note like, oh, like I'm peacing.
No. He crashed his car, like drove it off a bridge or something, and left they found a suicide
Oh,
note in his glove box.
okay.
Yeah, so she lied to her children, told them that he fell asleep at the wheel and crashed and died. But
Mm,
really, she never told them about the suicide note.
right. Okay. So I mean, that's a pretty big deal to not
Yeah, how
tell
about that guy
your
too, man?
kids.
Don't even bother writing a suicide note if you're just gonna write enough is enough. What a dick thing to say.
Right. It is kind of like it's kind of like. I mean, I hate to laugh as much as I
I know
am.
it's horrible. It's not funny, but it is funny. It's
It's
like
just like enough is like
he probably
like
had enough of Madison's bland ass faces. He'd
it.
probably buy her like a diamond necklace, and she'd just be like, "Oh, thank you." Like
I'm
same
sorry. I
emotion.
mean, thank you. No, you're right. I don't know. It is like yeah. Usually a suicide note is like an actual note. I guess I would say. I mean, not that I'm an expert on suicides, but you know,
Yeah, well, I
it,
don't know. If you're gonna go through the effort,
I mean, if you're committing suicide, obviously enough is enough. I guess he's just stating the obvious. But I mean, I like can. How do you think though Alicia feels to her mother? Do you think she can trust her and like you know what I mean?
I think so. I think that was like a healing moment between the two of them. Of course, at first she was a little hurt, but I think she understands, and they kind of like connected now.
Right. But I feel like if Nick found out, he would freak out. You know what I mean? I feel like
Yeah,
there's a difference between the way Nick and Alicia act.
yeah. Well, Alicia's way more mature than him.
Right.
Nick's a loose cannon, so
You're right.
I don't
And
know.
yeah.
And no Nick this episode. This was the first time this half season. No
Yeah,
Nick.
pretty much. They have them in the. So it's going to be a 2 hour season finale coming
Yeah.
up next weekend. Hopefully it's jam packed and not like a 2 hour, like, grueling, like,
Yeah, not like an hour and a half of setup and then like final 20 minutes of something
like,
happening.
yeah, like, ugh, like, what is, like, drama. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, in the previews for next week, Luciana, like Nick's new girlfriend, was saying how yelling at Nick to pick up and go because that's what you do. You know what I mean? So I guess that
Yeah.
is in his blood, like that. Like I guess that's the thing from Nick's father, and how Madison always says that Nick's just like his father.
right. So they one thing this show does really good is like fill in the characters and try, like pretty much tell you where they're coming from, explains their decisions like a little better. And you can kind of like, even though Nick ran off in like a really selfish, stupid way where he abandoned his family, like you can understand why. He's like a reckless kid that is always running away. He's got a lot of issues. So I don't know, but I am getting like just bored with it all. And although I like this episode a lot, I'm not even excited for the finale because I like this episode for Chris and Travis and that little story there. But now that that's over, it's like back to like this hotel with Madison and all these people I don't know, and I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't really feel
hopefully
like watching like a 2 hour finale, to be honest.
I don't. Yeah, 2 hour finale.
I was like,
is
2 hours. Oh my god.
Well, let's hope it's a very intense, like really like Walking Dead Walker talk kind of. No, like like an intense 2 hour finale of like fights and battles and I wouldn't mind like I usually don't really care a lot of in the Walking Dead how like they kill zombies and this and that and like walkers, but I wouldn't mind that in the show, just like amp it up a little bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't even a single walker in this episode. Something that I
Right?
noticed. Yeah,
They're like, it's not in the
it's
budget.
like Fear of the Walking Dead. Like, where are they?
What's
Not
so
even here.
if someone watched this as their first episode, they'd be like, there's no walkers anywhere. You're right.
Yeah,
That's a good point. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I think the season finale is gonna have a lot of action in it. Like the first season's finale had a lot of action in it, and it was pretty cool. I just, I'm at the point now where in a season finale, I'm expecting to feel a lot of like gut punches from character deaths, and I don't think I'd really care. Who could die that I'd really care?
No,
I don't know.
Yeah.
No one really. So
I'm really trying to like pick out the one.
Yeah, they've fleshed these characters out a lot, but I'm not really rooting for a single one in particular.
You're right.
So.
There's no team. There's no like team this, team that. Like I'm just like let's get some shit going.
I know. So real quick before we end tonight, George, let's take a. I'm assuming someone's gonna die in the finale next week, right? So let's just do a little bit of a death prediction right now, and I want to hear your reasons too. So who are you going for? Reasons.
I'm gonna predict. Let me think. I'm gonna predict. How main of a character does it have to be?
I don't know. Just it could be, to be honest, I really don't know. So just go with who you feel.
I'm gonna predict. The two bros die.
The two bros.
I don't know. Maybe I think Travis. I bet Travis is gonna have some conflict with the two guys meeting up at the hotel, and he's gonna freak out that his son's not with them, and then he's gonna peace out.
Oh, so what about this? What if Travis dies in some heroic way to save his son, which changes his son for the better?
Sounds lame. Because we want to. It's interesting, but like you said, like I don't know, let's get some evil character.
Yeah, but if Travis dies, that doesn't do anything for the story at all. So there's got to be whenever they have a death, it's got to bring something to the story, right? So I don't know. I don't really know who it would be at this moment. Maybe I would say like Alicia, because they just kind of like reconcile that with Madison,
right? And
that could like going forward, I don't know, just make Madison maybe into a more brutal character. But at this point, like Alicia's kind of like the good-looking girl on the show. I don't know if they're gonna get rid of her too fast.
You're right.
We got Luciano now, though, swapping her out.
It's very true. It could happen.
You gotta have like a little bit of eye candy on a TV show, You're
right.
It gotta be one girl.
You gotta have a good mix of boy girl, sexy boy, sexy girl. Yeah, all right. I was thinking that too, but I don't see them. Travis, Victor's not gonna die because he just got stabbed, so they're gonna leave him alone.
Right.
Like they can't kill Nick because Nick's probably also one of their best characters they have.
Yeah.
Madison, they're in love with. They're not killing her.
Yeah, like we said, I think she's the connective tissue.
Right,
unless she is the one that dies, and then everyone just has to figure it out. That would actually be the most interesting way to go, but I don't think they're going to do it.
I think Alicia and Travis are the most expendable. Like, besides them, like main characters, like who really cares if like the maid at the hotel dies?
Yeah, definitely. I don't even know any of those people. I don't care anything about them. Same thing as Nick's Village. Luciano, maybe. I don't even care about her either. I don't care about anyone because we haven't really got to know them.
Right.
So, I don't know. I mean, I hope Travis doesn't die, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't mind. I like him. I think we're all rooting for Madison, but I mean, I don't see them killing her,
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been Walker Talk for Fear the Walking Dead Season 2, Episode 13, Date of Birth. Next week, we have the 2-hour finale of Fear the Walking Dead. Woo!
Oh, yeah. I cannot wait.
Let's hope we're not disappointed. Check us out, Barely Sober News and Reviews on Twitter and Instagram at Barely Sober News. And please like and subscribe. This has been a Walker Talk.